Hi, this is Dan Feld here from Google Developers, and we are here at Founders World in San Francisco. And with me today is Ted Kraus from TechRx Ventures.
Yep.
Hi Ted. Thanks a lot for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
I know that we just finished up your keynote upstairs and went into the expo area. And so tell us a little bit about your venture.
Absolutely. So TechRx is a unique venture fund. We invest in companies that are struggling to scale. So we typically invest up to $250,000, and so that's the financial capital piece. And we also invest the human capital piece to help correct or turn around venture-backed tech companies that have hit some wall or they're at some inflection point and they need to be fixed. So that's
Wouldn't you say that lots of startups that reach to a point that they have some kind of attraction and trying to scale would actually struggle to scale?
Yeah, so most companies hit roadblocks as they grow. Most tech companies do. It might be because they don't have the right sales and marketing team. It might be because they don't know what to do from a marketing standpoint. It may be because they were unable to raise money. Most of the time, if the company is not able to have revenue coming in the door, or if they have some type of social app or something like this where they need to have millions and millions of users, that would be the traction in that case. We come in and we help them figure out what they need to do to get that traction, to hit those growth numbers, and then to scale through that inflection point.
I see. And on this point, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that asking themselves, hey, how do we get funded? And perhaps they see themselves fit to your bill and to the way you look at startups. So what's the best way to reach you? What's the best way to get you fund their startup?
Absolutely. So the best way to get in contact with a VC or an investor is through a trusted intermediary. So someone that you know that knows them as well, they make the connection. There needs to be a bridge there. We get a lot of blind, emails, and it's very difficult for us to meet with everybody that we see. So it helps a lot if you want to get in touch with us or any other investor to be introduced through someone that they know as well. If you want to raise money, the biggest thing you need to do is have good traction. That's by far and away the best thing that you can do. Have really, really strong KPIs, key performance indicators. I'm a big fan of actually making money. I think that it's great to have an application that has millions and millions of users, but it's also great to have millions of users and millions of dollars coming in. So I'm a big fan of revenue.
So the answer is both.
Both, yeah. I want to see money and I want to see users. That's what I want to see.
Absolutely. When you look at the first meeting of a founder or entrepreneur with you, and assuming that he sees himself as ready for what you are looking for, how would the first meeting, how a successful meeting would look like?
Usually we know in the first 60 seconds whether or not the founding team, the founder, the person that we're speaking with is fundable. We know if they have the confidence that's needed to succeed as a founder, as an entrepreneur. We usually know beforehand if their product is good. So we know pretty fast whether or not we're gonna make an investment and do the deal.
So once the meeting actually was scheduled, there is a high chance it's pre-qualified.
Yeah,
you know a lot of things about the founder.
If you get a meeting with the investor or with anyone, they have done a little bit of diligence on you. They know what you're going to come and talk to them.
So what's left? What do I need to do? How do I nail the 30% that is left for me to do in the first meeting?
Have a very clear, well-defined ask. It's very important. Don't go in and to any meeting and not have an agenda. Have a very clear ask, have a plan. If the person you're meeting with wants to know how you're going to get from A to B, if they invest $1 million in you, have a plan and very explicitly state how you're going to use the money. What's the use of funds? Have the ask, have the deal terms in your head so you don't have to say, oh, let me call my CFO or my attorney and remind me of what the deal terms are. Know all of these things, top of mind.
Let me amp that. In many cases, when you ask how can I help you, the answer is not clear. People sometimes don't come ready to answer a simple question, how can I help you?
Yes.
And that's sometimes the missing the opportunity right there. So.
Exactly. Nobody wants to waste time, and so you need to know that. Like, you don't want me saying, what can I do for you?
Yeah. So Ted, how, perhaps a little bit about you, how did you get to work as a venture capitalist, and perhaps a little bit about your professional background?
Absolutely. I started my career in Los Angeles at Tech Coast Angels. I was an analyst there for a number of years. I started a company that was funded, and then I ended up moving to the East Coast, and I lived very near Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, for a few years, and I worked at a great fund there called 8 Rivers Capital. We commercialized several amazing technologies, and then in 2013 I wanted to come back to California, and I had the opportunity to move back here and start working with TechRx. I really like the model that TechRx uses. It fills a gap in the venture ecosystem here, which is companies that are struggling. They're great technologies, they're great products, but we just didn't want, we don't want to see them evaporate and go away. And we can all think of these, maybe there was an application that you used, or there was a really wonderful product that was hot for a period of time, and then it just kind of like dissolved and went away. Maybe there was something they could have done to prevent that from happening. And so we try to work with a few companies a year. We're very hands-on. It lets me, basically my role is I get to be an investor and an operator in a company at the same, in startups at the same time. It's a dream for me to be able to do that, and it's a really wonderful thing that we do. So
wonderful. And last question: what would be the Google product that you most use or like?
I love all the Google products. My favorite products are, I like Google Maps, I like Inbox on my phone, I like Calendar on my phone, the new apps that have come out. I'm a huge fan of Google Drive, documents and sheets. I use them for team development whenever we have anything we want to do on Sheets or Google Drive on Docs. And also, the one product that I'm the most excited about to come out of Google is definitely the self-driving car. I can't wait. I see them all over the place, and I'm very excited about that product.
We share the feeling. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Ted.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for watching.